Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I hope you're well. So in today's video we're going to talk about my film issue that I've been having on more something that I've noticed as of late, and that is mainly because it was more pronounced. Now you might remember a couple of videos ago I was taking some photos out with my friend Nev with my Bronica film camera, and when I got the negatives back I had these lines going across the images, and I was wondering what the hell was going on. Was it caused by something I'd done? Was it something that there was a fault with the camera? Is it the film? There were so many variables when it comes to this this line of work, or working with this format. We're not shooting digital, and yeah, what I done is I wasn't sure what happened, and I put up a post on my Instagram account and asked some people, what was going on. And I tagged a few companies. I tagged the film company, I tagged some friends, and I tagged a couple of the labs that done one of the labs that done the work, and just trying to get to the cause of the problem. So I knew when I go ahead, my lights just turned off. When I go ahead and shoot more rolls of film, am I going to come into that problem? Well, something interesting happened. One, I got a bloody earful from the owner of the lab where I got the actual where I got the film developed and scanned, and yeah, I'm never going back there again. And completely out of order. The owner started blaming me for it. He just went on this real rampage of just laying into me, and I was wanting to find out what the problem was, but all he saw was it was representing his business. But I said, no, I'm putting it out there to a larger audience to ask them what's wrong. He had no idea at the time what went wrong. So I just ended up hanging up the phone on him. He was just laying into me and trying to make me feel like the bad one, and they're like he's the victim here, which is completely out of order. So I just hanged up the phone on him, and he sent me an email, blocked him on that one, told him not to contact me again, and done a whole load of things on social media as well. I blocked him on there. But anyway, yeah, I wish it didn't go down that path, but sadly it did, and that's how he wanted to manage it. So yeah, won't mention names anyway. But yeah, so I ended up finding out what the problem was, but it was after a lot of research and actually going to another lab to get my my negatives rescanned. Now, what I originally thought, after some of the comments on my Instagram account, a lot of people said like bromide drag. Now that more happens with 35mm film during the developing process, more so when you've got the little holes over the 35mm film, where with medium format you don't have those holes, so it's not going to be that issue wouldn't be as common, I would say. So then I was told it could have been the way they developed the film, it could have been rushed as well. So yeah, it was just all of these things which were putting out there, but I wasn't sure if it was actually the problem. And I tried to look over my film and I couldn't really see anything. I could see sort of lines, but I wasn't sure what they were. Then I ended up going to a new lab, went there with my negatives, and they had a look at the film. They couldn't see anything. When they looked through, then they done the scans, and the scans came out absolutely perfect. No problems whatsoever. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this. So I'm currently looking at the images on my computer screen here. So the first image is of this rock, and it's got the nice crack in the middle of it, leading me out, and I'm doing a long exposure. It was an 8-second long exposure. Originally I thought this was underexposed. There was details in the blacks which I just couldn't pull out, and I thought this was just down to the negative scan, and that's just how it was, and it was just more things I had to work on. But you can see in the sky here there are lines coming into play, and yeah, so I couldn't work out. So this is what a lot of people thought was bromide drag. And if I go along to the other one, you can see it's coming across the image, so it's keeping that line, it's keeping that consistency across the image. So the other image was shot vertically, and this image was shot horizontally, and yeah, you can see those lines, they're quite defined. But what I found out about, so this brings me onto the images when I got them rescanned. They are perfect. There's no problem with the negative whatsoever. Turns out the problem is, you can see there's no problem there. I've done no editing to that. I've just done basic enhancements to this just to get the look that I want, but I just love the flat look, and there's so much detail in there. So yeah, and what the lab suggests, that the new lab I've gone with, which is Silver High Studios, they recommend it's probably their scanner. It's probably on their way out, and they reckon it's a flatbed scanner they've been using, which makes a lot of sense, because some of my images that I've been getting from this old lab that I was using, I could see they were part of the actual the framework, you know, when they put it into this film sliders, film, you know, when you put the film into it. I'm trying to explain it, but I don't know what to call it. They're the little loaders, you know, where it holds the film. And I could see, you know, parts of it would interfere with the frame, or have it when it was a bit skew-whiffed or something. But all of these, I've got the full resolution. There's no cropping required, as I've had to do with the other lab. But if I go back to earlier on in this year, this was a scan taken. Now this was back in. This scan was taken early this year in January. Now the shot would have been taken somewhere in December time. This was actually shot on my Leica R4 film camera, and you can see there are lines, but they're not as defined as they are in my current images. And one of my friends recommended that it's probably their scanner, it's on its way out. So if I haven't already mentioned what the problem is, it's staircasing. It's yeah, it starts off high and then it works its way down low, which, you know, it's a bit of a weird technical term. But yeah, staircasing. So as it starts off high and then it works its way low to basically nothing at all, which is basically the effect that I'm having. You know, it goes across the whole image. So this whole year I've been, you know, the images I've been getting, like they're really dark and everything. I've been putting that down to the characteristic of the film. And, you know, I thought, you know, it's a really high contrast film. I'm not going to, you know, it's not going to get much use. But after having the results, you know, coming back between the labs, the difference between them is just amazing. So the lab that I've got now, Silver High Studios, I've asked for them to basically give me a flat profile. So I've got plenty of detail in the shadows, and I've also got plenty of detail in the sky. So I've got a nice platform to work from when it comes to editing my photos, which I don't really do too much. I just, you know, push up the clarity, the contrast a bit, play with the whites and the blacks. That's basically it, really, and just a little bit of cloning out, you know, those little blemishes in the photos, you know, like lines or, you know, like hair or little specks here and there. But I want to keep it still that nice grainy look, and I won't do too much sharpening as well. So yeah, it's just quite interesting to know, and I can even see it on this shot that I got in Fremantle once. Looking over to the ports, I've got these lines going across the image. Again, I thought when I'd done that I had to go using my mist filter, and that was another thing. I was thinking it could have been because I had one of my friends, Nolan in South Africa, say that it's could be the filter causing the problem, you know, because it's a resin filter. And I was thinking, yeah, it could be actually, but I was hoping it wasn't the case, and I'm so glad it isn't the case. But yeah, that image, I thought, you know, it's a shame. But yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster of a ride, but it's so nice that I found a lab that looks after me and treats me with respect, and I feel honoured to be, you know, their customer, and they work to how I want to be, you know, how the end product is, you know, they talk to me about my photography, the way I work, and what product I want at the end of it to work from. Where, you know, film, getting into it and learning about it again, all of this side is completely new. When I learned photography, when I was doing photography at school, back in high school, back in the early 2000s, yeah, we didn't really do any scanning. It was no digitalized. It was all, you know, in the dark room, using enlargers and paper and everything, and all the chemicals. So learning about this side was completely new to me. So I always just thought, like, these lines are something that I've done. There's a problem that I've put on myself, or, you know, or something I've messed up on. I didn't think it was the lab's fault. and it turns out it is the lab's fault. It was the scanner. And so what I've done, I unblocked the account, the store, because they were trying to contact me, hassling me. So what I ended up doing, I unblocked them and I sent them a nice little message about, showing the example from earlier this year. The problem is, I reckon their scanner's on their way out and everything, just doing it really nicely. And about 5 minutes later, they blocked me on Insta. So they're not open to listening. They just think I'm bashing their business. And funny enough, after I put this post out, someone messaged me and said actually they had problems with them as well, and they felt like, and they got the same treatment I got, and they went somewhere else. So it's quite interesting that this lab tries to make themselves look like they're the best and everyone's happy, but I'm just wondering how many people are unhappy with the service they've achieved from that company. So yeah. But I didn't want this video to be about backlashing and everything or anything. I just wanted to resolve that problem. So yeah, all of my film that I've had developed over the years, over this past year, I've got a load of things. I've had 15 rolls of film developed, and they're all in these sleeves. I will get a folder for them. I didn't realise how many I had, but yeah, all of them I'm going to rescan, and what I'm going to do is I was originally going to get the Epson scanner, the V850. Reason being, it's apparently pretty good for what it is, and it will give me the best results. Though after talking to Silverhide Studios, they recommend I use my trusty 5D Mark IV right here. The reason being is I'm going to get far better image quality from it. I can, I've got better files, I've got 30 megapixels, higher resolution. Now it does mean me getting a macro lens, but I'm probably not going to worry about that until I move back to England. It would be nice to rescan a load of these things. I'll just find out what images I want to rescan and probably just take it back to Silverhide Studios, get them to rescan the film for me. I pay them obviously for their time and effort that they've done and their equipment. So yeah, I'd pay them for that. But yeah, when I come to moving back to England, which is definitely going to be happening by the way, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm already making preparations for it, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm trying not to think too big because I don't want to get too excited just yet. Yeah, but I've definitely got some big plans that I want to do, and yeah, it's going to be good when I move there. So yeah, it's great we've got this problem resolved. Turns out it's nothing that I've done on my part. It's good to know as well about the film characteristics, that I do actually have film that is able to reveal a lot more detail than what I had. I thought it was, that film was just really contrasty, and it's just turned out to be that's how the lab scanned the film and delivered it to me. So I always thought I was limited by that film. So now I've got, I think, about 4 rolls on that film. I do have some new film which I bought, which I'll grab it now. So I've got a couple of this nice film, and I want to try and save it for something really good. This is Fuji Acros 100 Mark II. So going to get out and put this in my Hasselblad. I mean, not my Hasselblad, I'm so used to saying that Hasselblad and talking about Hasselblads. In my Bronica ETR, and maybe do some street photography with it. I'm not too sure, maybe do some landscapes. I want to try and find something where it's going to be sort of nicely tested. I might even head out to Fremantle sometime. But yeah, it's getting awfully hot here now. Well, we're approaching summer. It's we've had a few hot days, some of which when I was away, and which terminated some of my trips because it would just be too hot to go out and shoot, and too dangerous as well. There's been a lot of wildfires taking place. There's a wildfire that was happening, I think, out near Jarrahdale. There's a fire happening up in Wanneroo area as well. People have lost their homes to it, unfortunately. As I found out as well recently from a friend who works for the firefighters, he put up a post that someone actually had a drone flying around the area capturing things of the fire, and it stopped a helicopter from saving homes. So yeah, pretty irresponsible people those are. But yeah, so I just wanted to share this with you, share that everything is well. We've got a new lab, Silverhide Studios. I will link to them down below. You can check them out. They're a Perth-based business, and they have been around for 4.5 years, as I spoke to them recently. And they've got over 4,000 clients, which is absolutely insane, considering that is a film-based community. So yeah, pretty special, and I'm glad to be a part of, you know, those customers. So yeah. Anyway, I better let you go. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. If you like this video, just be sure to hit that like button. It really helps with the channel. And if you've got anything to say or you'd like to ask anything, pop it down in the comment section and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Anyway, I'm Simon, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Okay, bye for now.